always ask me how I became a model and how I wanted to be a model. And it's funny because recently I saw somebody that was a very good friend of mine in middle school, and apparently I had told him that I wanted to be a model, and I hadn't remembered that until he mentioned it to me. And then it just goes along with kind of how things have gone. I said I wanted to be a model, but of course I was very chubby as a little kid, and chubby preteen, and into high school and into college, and so I never pursued anything. And then once I got into college, I had people come up to me at the store where I worked, and they said, "Oh, you have such a pretty face, you should really think about modeling." And so I went and I investigated it a little bit, and I happened to be at a dinner one night, which I was a communications major, and it was a communications networking event, and I met this woman who was a model and an actress, and she said, you know, "What do you want to do, Angel?" And I said, "Well, I'd really like to plus-size model." And she said, "Oh, well, I can see that." And she said, "I have a friend who needs a bride, to do a bridal show, excuse me. She needs a plus-size girl to do to be a plus-size bride in a fashion show. She owns a wedding shop." So I went, I auditioned, and she ended up booking me for that show. And then at that show, I met my friend Trudy, who told me who to talk to at QVC, and then that's where my career started at QVC. Did I go to modeling school? No, but I did. There was a modeling club when I was in high school, and I joined the modeling club, and even though I wasn't the typical model-looking type person, I learned how to walk, and I learned how to put a lot of things together, and I learned how to do hair and makeup. You know, just that was the whole process of getting that started, and so I never had to go to school. But once Trudy told me who to talk to go to QVC, that's how my QVC career started. And I was with them for a while until I got with an agency, and then it just went from there. I've modeled in Philadelphia. I had an agent in New York, in North Jersey. I've modeled in Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Philly, New York, Jersey, everywhere in our local area, and I think I've had a really great career. It's also prepared me during that time. I also, because of my ability to talk to people and to put fashion together, I was also able to get jobs where I would commentate and coordinate fashion shows for Macy's and Strawbridge and Clothier and a couple of other places, where I would go pick the clothes for the models and then talk about the clothes to the audience to tell them how to put things together. And that was a really fun part of my job. And then also, at that time I worked full-time at a university in Philadelphia, so I was able to pair the modeling with that job. And then after I left the university, I got a job with a magazine, a plus-size magazine, which now is not in existence, but they hired me to be a fashion editor, and they flew me around the country, around the U.S., to commentate fashion shows for them and be a representative of the magazine. And that was probably, until this Quacker gig, as I call it, or until I've become the on-air Quacker guest, that was my favorite job ever. But now this, being the on-air Quacker guest, is my favorite job ever. Off to work at the beach.